Howdy folks, I'm easygoing Eastern comma, eagerly eating edible elderberries.
I'm Amber.
And here are more edible elderberries for us to eat, which I think this is probably the most butterfly-esque one that we've had yet, because, I don't know, maybe they do eat edible elderberries, maybe they don't, but at least it's a fruit. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Uninviting My Sister-in-Law from my wedding after she and my mother-in-law went dress shopping without me? I'm a 26-year-old female and I'm getting married to my fiance Jake, a 28-year-old male, in October. Planning has been stressful, but mostly going well until last week. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law, Jake's sister, a 24-year-old female, have been helpful throughout the planning, but they tend to take over and make decisions without asking me. I've tried to be understanding since they're excited, but it's getting overwhelming. Last Tuesday, I found out through Instagram that my sister-in-law and mother-in-law went wedding dress shopping together. Not for the sister-in-law, but for me. They posted stories trying on white dresses with captions like helping the bride choose and wedding dress shopping day. I've never asked them to do this for me. I actually told them weeks ago that I wanted to go dress shopping with just my mom and sister since it's important to me. It's been really my dream to pick out the perfect dress with my family. When I confronted them, mother-in-law said that they were just looking and they wanted to help narrow down options. Sister-in-law even said that I was being dramatic and that they were doing me a favor. Jake thinks that I should let this go because they meant well, but I feel like they completely disrespected my boundaries. Yesterday, I told them that they're uninvited from the wedding. Now Jake's family is calling me controlling and a bridezilla, saying that I'm tearing the family apart over something so small. My mom thinks that I did the right thing, but my dad says that I'm being too harsh. Jake is caught in the middle and stressed about his family drama. Am I the jerk for uninviting them? Should I have just ignored it? All right, folks, what do you think?
Everyone's in the wrong here. Like, you cannot unilaterally just decide to uninvite someone from the wedding. That needs to be a mutual choice. But it does sound like his mom and sister are trampling all over OP's boundaries repeatedly, and the husband is not stepping out, or husband-to-be is not stepping up and doing anything to address this. If they were wearing these wedding dresses and explicitly trying to intimate that these were for OP, that's not okay. And like, it's not helping OP or anything what they're doing. It just sounds like they are being kind of overbearing, and husband needs to talk to them about taking a step back if they are trying to control the whole wedding, like it sounds like.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I agree with you here where this needed to be a mutual discussion. They need to sit down and talk about this. I think that OP's knee-jerk reaction here of like, oh, I'm uninviting them, no questions asked, like, this is what I want. It would be different if it was like a friend or like some other family, some other, distant relative or something like that would be a little bit different because they aren't literally the fiance's, the groom's mom and sister. Being the mom and sister, it's unfortunate, but you're gonna have to figure out a way of like working with them, dealing with them. You're marrying into this family. You're gonna see them. What kind of animosity is it gonna create to, exclude them from the wedding? I feel like it's just gonna create a lot of trouble down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's a sign that this isn't the right family for OP. Maybe that everything is, hunky dory with her and her fiance, but
It doesn't sound like anyone here is ready to get married.
yeah.
OP, I understand her frustration, but made a unilateral decision about guests who were not invited by her. Like, I think he made an important distinction in that, like, I think the most important thing is, are they from your side or from your partner's side?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I could understand uninviting someone from your side without asking, like, if your friend like did something really rude and they're only your friend,
Mm-hmm.
and your partner's kind of indifferent to them. But uninviting your partner's guests without their knowledge is not an okay thing to do.
Yeah. So I think that they probably, if anything, should just go into couples counseling and sit
Mm-hmm.
down and work on communication skills and
Yeah.
everything and maybe delay the wedding.
Yeah, and work on setting some boundaries too.
Yeah.
Like, because again, you don't want to wait until you blow up. If you're having issues with the family, like, the time to talk about that. And sounds like Opie has like tried to talk about it and it's been kind of shut down, but that may be a sign that this isn't the right wedding if your partner's not taking you seriously and it's just like, oh, that's just how my mom and sister are. They're just trying to help.
Mm-hmm. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Advanced Nebula 710 says, trying in your dress without you isn't love, it's control. You're not wrong for protecting your moment. And OP replies, right? I really felt like the decisions were taken off my hands, and I should nod when they make suggestions. I really don't want it to ruin my relationship with my soon-to-be Freudian slip.
Yeah.
I really don't want it to ruin my relationship with my soon-to-be husband's family. But that's also probably the reason why I blew up after this, because I bottled up my feelings, and I'll talk to them again and apologize for overreacting. I hope we resolve this. And Suggestion Odd 6657 says, you should have laughed it off. It's not like you actually had to wear what they picked out. Go with your mom and sister like you want to. I do think that you overreacted. And Opie replied, I guess you're right. I might have just gotten too overwhelmed since there's so many things happening, and it felt like some decisions that I should have made were being made by them instead.
Well, I do think like that is a problem if they are actually expecting OP to wear one of the dresses they've tried on and would be upset if she picked her own dress.
Yeah. And Feline Good 8 says, your mother-in-law and sister-in-law don't like you very much, nor do they respect you. Jake needs to find his spine and support you 100%. If he doesn't, it wouldn't hurt to reconsider marrying into this family. And Opie replies, Jake definitely disappointed me a bit when he didn't understand why I got so mad. I'll probably talk with everyone again and discuss why I felt that way, since they're all saying that I'm being too intense. And Board Guy 2 says, you can still go dress shopping with your mom. The two ladies had a fun day. It's not like they bought the dress for you. You can choose to hear their list or not. I think kicking them out of the wedding is a little extreme. And Opie replies, I guess you're right. I might have gotten a little overboard and gotten too emotional. And Space Cadet Tech says, not the jerk, but honestly, I would just do what I want. Go dress shopping with your sister and mom. You don't have to tell them anything. And if they ask questions, just give vague answers. Make sure you do the vendor password thing. And OP replies, I will definitely do that. I really don't want anything to ruin this day. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Finally Telling My Mother-in-Law to Back Off After Years of Criticizing Everything That I Packed for My Husband? I'm a 27-year-old, and my husband, Ryan, is a 29-year-old, and we've been married for 3 years. We live in Seattle. His mom, Doreen, she's 51, lives 10 minutes away. Way too close, if you ask me. When we got married, I knew that she was a little involved. She would text him almost daily and guilt him for not visiting every weekend. Whatever, I figured that it would calm down, and it didn't. Now the thing is that Ryan works long hours, and I do too, but I'm usually up earlier. So I started packing him a lunch. Nothing fancy. Leftovers, wraps, salads, fruit, sometimes cute little notes if I had the energy. He never asked me to, I just wanted to help. That's what you do for the person that you love, right? Well, apparently not if you're Doreen. She started making these comments at Sunday dinner. At first, it was just stuff like, oh, you still make him lunch? He can do that himself, can't he? Or, Ryan's gotten skinnier, maybe you're not feeding him enough. I let it slide. Then she started asking what I packed, and then, like, you put grapes next to tuna? That's just gross. You shouldn't give him pasta too often. Carbs make him sleepy. He never liked mayo when he was growing up, and I just stood there smiling, nodding, trying not to snap. But it didn't stop. She'd then call Ryan after work just to ask what I had packed. I'm not kidding. One time he said, chicken wrap, and she went, again? And that's the third time this week. Doesn't she know how to cook anything else? I cried that night, quietly in the bathroom, like an idiot. I told Ryan, and he said, that's just how she is. And I hate that line so much. Like, that makes it okay? Well, anyways, last week we were at her house. She cornered me in the kitchen and straight up said, maybe let me do his lunch for a little while. You've done enough. Let me do his lunch, like I'm not his wife. Like I'm not already bending myself backwards. Like I'm not enough. And I just lost it. I didn't scream and I didn't swear, but I said, you know what, Doreen? You've criticized everything that I've done since the wedding, but I'm tired. I love him and he loves the food, so back off. She stared at me like I had slapped her. Ryan heard this. He froze. He didn't say anything. Then he later said that I could have handled it a little more gently. Now Doreen won't talk to me. Ryan's weird and quiet, and I just feel like maybe I messed everything up. But I swear, I was just tired of being nitpicked. I'm not trying to win some competition. I just want to feed my husband without being treated like trash. So tell me, am I the jerk? All right, folks, What do you think?
No, not the jerk. And you have a serious husband problem here. Like, he should have set boundaries with his mom ages ago. Like, and told her, I'm not going to tell you what my wife is giving me for my lunches. I like them. That's all that matters. The fact that he is letting his mom pick these apart, like every day she calls, and he tells her and listens to her pick it apart. Like, that's not what you do to your partner you love.
So I want to repeat what Opie said here. You know what, Doreen? You've criticized everything that I've done since the wedding, but I'm tired and I love him and he loves the food, so back off. How more gently could OP have possibly phrased that?
Well,
I do
exactly.
not know. That was about as tame and timid as one could possibly get
But
here.
you don't understand. Opie just has to let mommy dearest walk all over her for her entire life.
Like, OP didn't swear at her. They
Hmm.
didn't yell at her. They didn't, berate them. They didn't go out and slash their car's tires
Yeah.
or any number of things, right? They just said, "Back off. I'm not interested in hearing you criticize what I'm doing for my husband,"
Right.
right?
And I think it's time for OP and her husband to have a serious sit down where he either sees OP's side and starts setting boundaries with his mom, or OP walks.
Yeah, and there's probably couples counseling
Mm-hmm.
in their future if I had to say something that would be important for them to go to. It just feels like he is too busy defending his mom and not defending or standing up for his wife.
Because this is not healthy behavior. She is sabotaging the relationship. It sounds like she is not happy that he found someone else and she wants to be the woman in his life doing things for him. Like, she's literally trying to make his lunches for
Hmm.
him like he's a kid again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a coddled kid.
Yes. Well, I mean, some kids get their lunch made. Doesn't necessarily mean they're coddled.
Well, I mean, okay. That might mean they're not cuddled. I mean, I just had a different upbringing, and I'm like, I always had to make my own lunch. I made my lunch for since I was like, 10.
I get sad if I have to make my lunch as an adult.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Fertility of Choice says, not the jerk, your husband is the jerk for not only letting his mom do this, but also continuing to perpetuate it. He keeps telling her what you packed him for lunch and letting her nitpick it. Honestly, tell him that if he wants his mommy so bad, then she can make his lunches and you'll just make lunch for yourself. No reason to waste your effort. While he's at it, he can go sleep at mommy's and buy her a matching ring so that she can be his new wife. And OP replies, thank you. Seriously needed to hear that. I'm done bending over backwards while he lets her disrespect me. If he wants to play husband with his mom, then he can go all in without me. And Texas Forever says, tell Ryan the next time that he doesn't have your back and he tells you to handle things a little more gently, he can go sleep on his mommy's couch and she can make all of his meals and do his laundry too. Not the jerk. And Ryaniana says, this one right here, OP, I'm sorry that you're in this situation. You're 100% not the jerk and he needs to have your back. His mom is way out of bounds and has been for a long time. And OP replies, thank you so much. It really helps to feel seen. I've been dealing with this alone for so long. Oh, and OP replies to the first comment in this thread. Thank you, that actually made me laugh. Honestly, if he's so quick to take their side, maybe he should go live with his mom for a while. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Snapping at My Daughters for Wasting So Much Time in the Bathtub? My wife is a 37-year-old female and had to help her friend move into a new place yesterday, and it was a long drive there and back. So I, a 37-year-old male, was in charge of our kids, a 10-year-old male, an 8-year-old female, and a 7-year-old female all day yesterday. Our daughters always take their bath together, and my wife said they spend the entire time playing in the tub and not actually getting clean, so she has to go in there and frequently wash their hair and make sure that they're actually getting clean, and I would probably have to do the same. I reminded the girls a few times during their bath that they needed to actually wash themselves and not just play the whole time. Each time they said, okay, daddy, and I mistakenly took their word for it. After reminding them 3 times while getting busy with other things and getting a bit stressed out, I realized that they had been in the tub for almost 2 hours, so I went up and I checked on them and they still had been playing. So I got upset and I took away all the bath toys and I told them to stop playing and wash their hair and that I would be back in 20 minutes to get them out of the tub. When I got back, they were just playing by splashing each other in the tub. This was when I snapped and I yelled at them for wasting time and not washing their hair. As soon as I did it, I felt bad, and they were both scared by it, which made me feel worse. I washed their hair for them and told them that it was because they clearly weren't big enough to do it themselves. When my wife got home, I told her what happened, and she got mad. She asked me what it was I expected for them to do, just wash themselves without getting distracted by play at their age? And reminded me how she told me that I would need to check on them quite frequently and make sure that they got clean so that I would be prepared to do it. So something like this wouldn't have happened if I had listened to her. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you're the jerk for several reasons. One, it sounds like you're probably leaving the kids unsupervised in the bath for too long. Two, your wife made it very clear what you had to do, and you just expected a 7-year-old and 8-year-old to magically gain responsibilities and willpower that they did not have before. Three, it sounds like OP isn't involved in bath time usually. And is there a reason for that? Is OP generally like falling down on the parenting front and his wife is doing most things? Like, what else doesn't he know about the kids?
I mean, I think those are all valid points. I don't know the frequency in which he checked in on them. And I mean, certainly, like, that could be a situation. And I would hope that, this was one of those things where, it's difficult to know from the post itself how frequently he checks in on them. I think yelling at the kids was probably the biggest crime here because they were just playing and he needed to just sit down with them and supervise them and say, okay, I'm here. Why don't you wash your hair while I'm here and then let them wash their hair? He doesn't have to wash their hair for them, but he can supervise them and say, wash your hair now and blah, 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 right? Because it's important to teach kids how to clean themselves properly. And I think that's a fine thing for him to instruct them on, right? Now, it does seem like he didn't really listen to his wife when she said that you need to actually supervise them and actually go ahead and tell them what to do. And like leaving them in the bath for 2 hours, like, I mean, I know OP is like, oh, you wasted time, but you're the adult in the
Well,
room,
that's the
right?
thing, is like kids don't have a concept of time a lot of times. They're just busy having fun and enjoying themselves.
Yeah. So 2 hours to them may have felt like, not that much of time because they were too busy splashing around and having a good time. Again, like, I can't even see how the bathwater stayed warm at that
Well,
point
it
in
wouldn't
time.
have, but like, you slowly acclimate. Like, I mean, I think I played in the tub when the water got cold as a kid, but I was never left alone for
Mm,
like 2 hours. Like, I mean, it sounds like he may have periodically checked on them, but like 2 hours is a long time to leave your kid in a
it
bathtub.
is. It is. It is a really long time. I don't know. But let me know what you folks think. So, anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
How would you classify coats for an aquatic mammal?
I would classify them using various metrics and or measurements. And so I would say, well, what's the density and like of the fur? How oily is the fur? Is it waterproof? Is it, there's a lot of different metrics I think that one could use to classify the fur of the water aquatic animals
Well, I meant coats as in like
or
jackets.
coats. Oh,
As otter wear,
I see.
and it has nothing to do with, oh, kind of, so today is National Outfit of the Day,
Ooh.
and it's also National Meteor Watch Day.
So go find yourself an otter jacket to wear so that you can be fashionable for Fashion Day.
But not a jacket made of otters.
Unless the otters are still alive and you can summon them to you to wear.
I don't know that that's going to go very well for you.
It might. It might go great. It might go badly. It might go great. I don't really know. But if you do have those powers, please tell me in the comments below what ended up happening. I'm very curious now. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on partners not listening or standing up for you.
If your partner doesn't have your back and doesn't listen to you, then it may be time to look for a new partner.
It might just be. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.